Try as they might in between the rain on a miserable second day at Eden Park, England simply could not match New Zealand with either bat or ball. Only the Auckland weather has offered any encouragement to their first test hopes. If Trent Boult showed England's bowlers the way to make the most of a pink ball, then Kane Williamson followed it up by providing a model demonstration of the talents that now see him considered New Zealand's finest ever batsman. Williamson only added 11 runs to his overnight 91 before Jimmy Anderson finally gained some swing with the second new ball to trap him LBW, but it was enough for the New Zealand captain to reach a significant landmark. When Williamson celebrated his 18th Test century in his very understated way, think the exact opposite of what David Warner would have done. He was overtaking a New Zealand record held jointly by Martin Crowe and Ross Taylor. And the fact Williamson has played 13 fewer tests than Crowe with the power, at 27, to add plenty more makes it clear why this classy and stylish batsman is now viewed as the best New Zealander of them all. More pertinently for England, this was another member of the famous four batsmen to overshadow Joe Root during the last two chastening Test winters. First Virat Kohli had the better of Root in India, then Steve Smith in Australia, and now Williamson has taken the first big steps to getting the better of Root now. It may seem harsh to criticise such a consistent run scorer as Root, but the fact he is in danger of coming fourth in that particular four-horse race unless he can learn how to make as much as his ability as his three contemporaries. If Williamson, who, England believe, was run out on 64 on the first evening, showed the way to play in these conditions, then it certainly helped him that he was not facing his own bowlers. England's four right-handed fast-medium bowlers gained nothing like the swing nor found the same penetrating lengths as Trent Boult and Tim Southee in a carbon copy of their struggles in Australia. Simply, England will never improve their awful away form unless they can bring some variation into an attack that is in danger of being exposed again, even though Anderson, at 35, is bowling as well as ever. Stuart Broad ended up taking the first and second new balls here, but there has not been much evidence yet to suggest all the work he has put into his action since his disappointing Ashes has cured his problems against right-handers. Chris Wilkes has much to do to prove he can as effective overseas in Test cricket as he is at home, where he has become one of England's most important players in all formats. And Craig Overton, brought in late when it became clear Ben Stokes would not be able to bowl in this first Test, has rarely got above the late 70s miles per hour and has barely moved the ball either off the pitch or through the air. Overton is an interesting one. England were impressed with his temperament in Australia before a cracked rib ruled him out of the last two Tests and had no hesitation in preferring him to the much quicker Mark Wood. But if he is going to bowl more slowly than Paul Collingwood did for England, then it is hard to see how he will ever be a Test match force. Certainly in away tests where the lack of an X-factor is now becoming an acute problem. Williamson was the only New Zealand wicket to fall in the 23.1 overs that were possible today, but only 54 runs were scored as the home side moved slowly but surely to 229 for 4, a lead of 171. Even with a bad forecast for the weekend, New Zealand still have enough time to push for victory thanks to England's first innings ineptitude.